Hello and welcome to the Fierce Urgency of Now in Today's Schools podcast. I am Dr. Cynthia Mama J. Johnson, a voice of hope for education, and I'm honored to be your host. Thank you, as always, for joining me for another episode. Now, before we jump in, let me remind you why we gather. The Fierce Urgency of Now in Today's Schools podcast is dedicated to disrupting, interrupting, and dismantling barriers to change student outcomes in our nation's schools. Why? Because our children need us now more than ever before. So we've got to come together, meet them where they are, not leave them there, but elevate them to a whole new level. Well, I want you to know today that our topic of belonging and educators and support professionals is one of those topics that will elevate our children to a whole new level and will change and transform the school culture. Let's jump in. You see, during the month of August, we're looking at belonging. And the theme is, what's belonging got to do with it? Let me say it one more time. What's belonging got to do with it? Everything. Everything. You see, during the month of August, we're looking at when everyone belongs, students feel seen. When everyone belongs, educators feel supported. When everyone belongs, families feel welcome. When everyone belongs, communities grow stronger. When everyone belongs, together we transform lives. It's the 2026-2027 school year, and we have to be around about changing and transforming student lives. Now, for our conversation today about belonging and educators and support professionals, I want to use a theme or central premise, if you will, that says that we cannot build today's schools where students experience belonging if the adults who serve them do not experience belonging themselves. Do you hear that? Our students can't be the only ones who experience belonging every single day. Our adults, our educators, our support professionals have to experience belonging themselves. Now, this is what I want to do. I want you to take a moment today and think about the topic of belonging. Even go back to what I talked about last week. We looked at belonging in students, and we always ask about students. Do you feel seen? Do you feel valued? Do you feel safe? Do you feel like you matter here? Those are very important questions, and they should be asked of students. But I want to tell you something else. Those same questions need to be asked of the adults. So, right now, I want you to think about the educators and the support professionals in your district, in your school. And you ask yourself, do those members, do those staff members feel like they belong? Do they feel valued? We have to ask those same questions to the grown folks, as my grandmother would say. So, what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to turn off the camera and I want you to look at the picture on the screen. And, and each role, each position, I want you to think about someone in each one of those 9 pictures on the screen and ask yourself, do they belong? Are they connected? Here we go. You see, those pictures on the screen represent those individuals that make everything possible in our schools. We cannot do it without everyone joining in and everyone feeling connected and everyone belonging. So, what does belonging have to do with educators and support professionals? Everything, absolutely everything. The educators, the health specialists, the maintenance workers, the school resource officers, the transportation workers, the school nutrition professionals, the crosswalk attendants, the paraprofessionals, the clerical workers, and we can go on and on and on. Belonging cannot be a program. It has to be a culture. So let's look at those questions that we ask about the students, and let's ask them about the educators and support professionals. So here we go. Do educators and support professionals feel seen? Do educators and support professionals feel valued? Do they feel respected? Do they feel like their voices matter? Do educators and support professionals feel connected to the people with whom they work with? Do educators and support professionals feel that they are part of something larger than themselves? Can they bring their authentic selves to work every single day? Do the educators and support professionals feel that their contributions make a difference every single day? Now let's keep it real, because you know Mama J loves to keep it real. I want you to think about this question. Who is taking care of the people who spend their days, evenings, nights, taking care of everybody else? Because you see, educators spend their days from the time the bus arrives to the time the bus comes up and picks up the students. After school and sports and activities, educators and support professionals are always encouraging and lifting. They are saying, "You matter. You can do this. I believe in you. Girl, I am so proud of you and what you are doing." Now, I know this is hard, and I know we didn't get it right the first time. Let's try it again. Come on, let's try it again. And the one that I always love, I am here for you. And the last one, you are loved. You see, belonging is not simply a student issue, it's a human issue with implications for everyone and everything that we do, especially for transforming school cultures. So let me offer 7 different areas that I want you to focus on as you look at that screen and you imagine staff members in your school and in your district. You see, adults need to feel seen. Belonging begins with being recognized as a whole person, not just simply as a job title. So the question I want to offer you today, do the adults in your school feel known and or merely managed by those in charge? Number 2, adults need to feel valued just like the students. People need to know that what they bring to the school matters and that they have something to offer. You will be surprised what will happen when people feel valued. They feel like their expertise is being recognized, that their experiences is being appreciated, that their creativity, their effort, and their contributions are being celebrated. Belonging says what you bring to this school community, what you bring to this district makes a difference. Number 3, adults need voice and influence. Being invited to a meeting is not the same as having a voice. Now, I know that so many times we put together committees and task force and different organizations or different groups. We always try to be diverse and get all the different voices at the table. But if you're just inviting me just to say that you've got somebody from the support professional staff, or if you have an educator in this particular area just to say that you can check this off your list, that's wrong. You have to make sure that when I'm coming and being invited, that I have a voice and I have something to share and somebody is listening. You see, the adults experience belonging when their perspectives are genuinely solicited, heard, considered, and acted upon whenever it's appropriate. So the question I want to ask you, do we ask adults what they think? Or we just merely tell them what we have already decided and what we're already going to do? Number 4, adults need meaningful relationships. Just like the students, the adults and support professionals need meaningful relationships. You see, belonging grows through relationship, it becomes stronger. So the question I have to ask you, does everyone in your building have someone who has your back, has their back? Now, I don't know if you've ever been in a situation where somebody didn't have your back, but I have. And I'm telling you, it's challenging. Sometimes it's daunting because you're thinking that you're doing this work every single day and nobody has your back. But when you have meaningful relationships, educators have opportunity to connect with colleagues and administrators and other support staff members, not only in the school community, but in the overall community. Number 5, adults need psychological safety. Every time I think about psychological safety, I see Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And right there in the middle is safety. Right there. Safety leads to belonging. People want to feel like they are a part of something. People want to know that they are in a culture that it's okay to say, I need help. That it's okay to say, I don't know. That it's okay to make a mistake and to say, I made a mistake. And that it's okay and safe to say, I have a different perspective that I want to share without feeling like belonging is at risk. Number 6, adults need recognition, appreciation, and care. Now, I'm going to say this right now. They need this all throughout the entire year. Begin with the beginning and continue it all throughout the year. Why? Because teachers, let me just begin with teachers. Teachers can't wait to May to be celebrated for National Educator Day or National Teacher Appreciation Day. In May, celebrate me on the first day of school, on the 5th day of school, on the 20th day of school, on the 30th day of school. Encourage me, not just educators, but our support professionals. Encourage me all along the way. These are some ways that you can do it. You can say, you know what? I saw what you did. It was outstanding. Thank you so much for showing up and being here. You know what? Your work matters, and it matters a lot. And then blow their mind and say, how are you doing? You may catch some people off guard with that one simple question. How are you doing? And this is a question that I wish, oh my goodness, that I had asked more often. And I'm going to even go so far to say, I wish I had heard it throughout my 35 plus years. What do you need? What do you need to be successful? What do you need to be your best? What do you need to be at the top of your game? Number 7, adults need to know that they are a part of something bigger than just showing up every single day. And perhaps this is, if you will, the deepest level of belonging, because people want to know that what they do and what they're a part of has meaning. You see, educators and support professionals want to know that what they're doing is just beyond today's lesson plan, or beyond today's behavior challenge, or beyond the meeting, or beyond the sports activity. They want to know that they are a part of something that matters. And that leads us to the most important word for me. It leads us to purpose. You see, when people have purpose, they show up differently. When people have purpose, they're willing to go the extra mile. When people have purpose, they're willing to show up early and to leave late. When people have purpose, they're willing to serve on committees. When people have purpose, they're willing to do whatever is necessary, whatever it takes to reach the goals and the mission of our schools. And that is to ensure that our students have everything that they need to be successful in school and to be equipped for the future. But I want to throw something at you right now. How can educators and support professionals do this when they are consistently denied hearing these things or being a part of these things themselves? The answer is they cannot. You see, educators need to belong. And I want you to know that there's many ways that they can belong. And it goes beyond just the answers from a survey. You have to meet people where they are. And just like I said in the opening, don't leave them there. Figure out what is needed to elevate them to a whole new level. Now, I know we've covered a lot in a very short time, but I want you to know these words as we close out this topic today. You see, educators and support professionals need to feel seen. They need to understand and feel that you know me. They need to be valued. They need to know that you appreciate who they are. And they need to be heard and know from you that their voice matters and it matters a lot. They need to be connected and they need to know that they are not alone. They are not on an island. They need to know that they are safe and they can speak their truth and it will not be held against them, but it will be a part of the overall conversation. You see, educators and support professionals need to be cared for. They need to know that their well being matters. Because if they are not well, what they do every single day is not at their absolute best. So we want them to know that their well being matters and that we are going to take care of who you are. And then, as I said earlier, educators and support professionals need to feel that what they do is purposeful. What I do matters every single day. So when I say, what does belonging have to do with educators and support professionals? Everything. Somebody say everything. You see, if we want educators to create classrooms and school environments where students matter, we have to create schools where educators know that they matter too. Whew, that was a lot. If we are going to transform student outcomes, if we're going to push and encourage and lift our students to their highest level, we've got to do those same things for our educators. So today, before I close it out, I want you to remember those pictures that you saw on the screen and replace them with faces that you know and that you are familiar with. And before we go on and before we close out, I want you to always remember that belonging is a foundational structure that impacts every single thing that takes place in a school. And it can't be just reserved for one group. Everyone needs to feel as if they belong, which is why this topic is so important for us during the month of August. So you already know that during this 2026-2027 school year, that I am already anchored in hope. Why? Because I know that hope causes you to move different, to see things differently, to offer something that you have never offered before. And hope gives you strength to continue on. hope, as well as light. So as you go throughout this school year, you let your light shine. Even when it becomes dark, and there will be some dark days, I'm telling you. I've been doing this a lot of years. There are some dark days, and you have to remember that I'm bringing the light myself. That when I walk into a room, I'm going to bring the light. So, regardless what you do, anchor yourself in hope. Make sure that people belong and they feel connected. And as always, let your light shine, let it shine, let it shine. I will see you next time. Thank you for joining me for this very special episode. See you next week when we look at belonging and families.